Our focus in the Deadwood project was the model view controller framework. We pretty much did so just in order to emphasize coupling, more easily break up our classes amongst our larger than average group, and then in order to ease our transition from command prompts in assignment 2 to GUIs in assignment 3. Looking at how we actually broke up our model, we just went ahead and had scene, role, player, and location be our model. Pretty straightforward, just stores the data of where everything needs to be. Then deadwood parser, and game system for our controller. It was just starting and running the game, so we thought it was pretty simple. But when it came to view, we got a little bit more complicated. We had game view command, game view GUI, and just game view the interface. Going into the assignment, we pretty early on decided we wanted to make game view an interface so that we could just change one line in Deadwood and swap over from command to GUI prompts. We realized this did not really work. There was a lot more methods we needed in order to implement GUI in a aesthetically pleasing and usable manner. When we first started our transition to assignment 3, we had a much more primitive version of GUI, reminiscent of assignment 2, using ASCII art to display the board, just a command prompt for the user with a submit button as its most decorated feature. We pretty quickly realized this wasn't really in the spirit of the assignment 3, so we swapped up over to the much more nice looking GUI that you should see in the bottom left corner. It's got actually interactable buttons, an updating map, wonderful things like players moving around with their roles displayed, and nice stuff like that. In order to actually make it happen, it was quite a bit harder than we expected though, as none of us really had that much experience with GUIs. Going into it, we pretty much had to just add a few lines to deadwood parser to actually get coordinates from the XML file so we would know where everything is. We had to add some lines in our model areas in order to actually store where they should be going, so we didn't mess with our view too much, and pretty much just revamp quite a few things. Getting it to actually update without writing over itself and making it a garbled mess was a bit more of a task than we initially thought, but it ended up working out pretty well. The only things I would really say we had is some of our design processes were a bit lacking. We did have a little bit of external coupling. We were able to keep it to deadwood parser for assignment 2 as we just need the XML files over here, but once we got into the GUI, we did also need to add the JPEGs and such for the board to actually work. We once again pretty much kept it to just one class, but still a little bit bothersome. When it comes to actual design processes outside of that, we considered a few things. We probably could have made the game view GUI and the deadwood parser singleton. We opted not to for just the theoretical possibility, pretty much that, oh hey, maybe someone wants to run multiple instances of Deadwood at one time and maybe they want them to be kind of different, you know. Maybe they look at a scene and they want it to be different on one board from the next, have a different location there, really up to them, so we just didn't restrict ourselves with the singleton. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I would say it's pretty well implemented. It works fully, I believe. We tested it quite a bit, had some issues to iron out, but looking at the demo we've got going on, it pretty much just works. Yeah, that's it.